We got our answer with the 144th pick in the NFL draft. The Cleveland Browns traded up to go get Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about what that means for him, what comes next, and what this means for the NFL draft process, let alone Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and how they did it. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on Step Mill. This is your first time watching the number one college football show. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. If that's something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question below. Do you think the Cleveland Browns have fallen into some found money in being able to trade up to go get Shedeur Sanders? And I believe that they would say so. I think that he was still there in the fifth round is a shock to many of us. But the Browns also made him their second selection at quarterback, not their first. At this point, we know what they think about Shedeur. We know what they think about Dillon Gabriel, who they're both going to enter into camp with. Dillon Gabriel, who's outstanding at Oklahoma and Oregon. Won a Big Ten championship at Oregon, beat Texas at Oklahoma. Also 6 years and one of the most prolific passers of all time, right? We know that Shedeur Sanders was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year this year. We know that he also threw for 4,100 yards, 37 TDs, and 10 INTs and was throwing passes to the Heisman Trophy winner. We also know his father is famous and his father is around and he is present, and that has really rubbed some of y'all the wrong way. Okay, I can get behind some of this. But when we take a look at what has occurred and how we got to this, I think it is more interesting to note that when Shedeur Sanders his name was announced at the podium by not Roger Goodell, you got a loud roar of people that are behind him. They really wanted to see this done. Not all of them are Cleveland Browns fans, though they will be going into this 2025 season, which is also great for Cleveland, right? It's the Baker Mayfield effect. It's, oh, you drafted my guy, I guess I'm going to be watching the Browns now. That's great for your bottom line and for a franchise that's had 40 quarterbacks since basically 1995 and hasn't really found one that can do the job, right? They've been all over the map. And that's why Baker Mayfield comes to mind, is he's got the same sort of bravado, the same sort of confidence that Shedeur Sanders has. And I make this point. The only people that were mad about Baker Mayfield being Baker Mayfield are from an old school where you don't say much and you don't do much. That's not who we are. That's not what millennials are. That's certainly not what those kids behind me are. They are doing it their way. And the NFL is about conformity. The NFL is a billionaire socialist function. It's okay, though, because they're all in cahoots together. Some would say Deion Sanders might have to buy a team for Shedeur to get drafted, which I'm going, they got to let you do that first. And they will kick you out, too. They did not let Jeff Bezos buy a team. They did tell Dan Snyder to kick rocks. There's a certain decorum they want to get down with. And if they don't want to get down with you, they will let you know that. It's why we have the NFL draft. It's because you want last to be first and the first to be last, so you get some competitiveness going on here. You don't want anybody to believe that they are bigger than the logo. So when you do not participate in the NFL draft past the interview, at the days in the interviews, you don't throw, but you have your own pro day, and you don't want to come to Green Bay, which is sanctioned among NFL fans, to participate in the draft, like Baron Sorrell, who was still there on day 3, got to walk out on the days as the Green Bay Packers were selecting him. But also you could tell he was having to hype himself to get out there because he did not expect to be there, but once he got out there, it was great. Shedeur didn't do any of that. Shedeur was on Twitch. Shedeur was in Canton. He didn't need it. But he also has not said much different than what he had before. He is fine with all of it. He has operated with so much aplomb and so much class that I think that part's getting missed, right? While people are getting the jokes in, coming after him, coming after me, I'm a little bit defensive. I was a little bit defensive because it feels personal, and it should never feel personal. But when you're prank calling Deion Sanders, I don't know how that doesn't feel personal, because that feels cruel. That's mean. I know parents, let alone Deion, who's been through this before himself, they are not okay during this time. They are on edge because their child, their heart is out in front of them, and there's nothing they can do to protect what's coming. All they can do is try to mitigate it when it does happen. Meanwhile, Shedeur is being cool. I enjoy that. That's the kind of quarterback you want. A guy that was not fazed or rattled throughout this process. But now he's coming in with Dillon Gabriel, and he's going to get an opportunity to compete for the job. I don't know that we're going to see him, But the thing about getting drafted in the 5th round that I don't think people want to talk about, because, we go to 6th round, Tom Brady, 199. We go to, hey, you can be an all-pro from the 5th round. You can be a starting quarterback as Mr. Irrelevant. Look at Brock Purdy. We can go to 4th round, Dak Prescott. 3rd round, Russell Wilson. 2nd round, Drew Brees, Jalen Hurts, right? There's all these ways of doing it. The Tyler Shuck thing gets under my skin because that's 7-year quarterback. That's 3 significant injuries. That's really just 1 great year of production, okay? At 1, 2, 3 different universities, right? We're also looking at that from the standpoint of him being 26 years old when the season starts. I'm not sure about that, to say nothing of the 6 years for Dylan Gabriel. Jalen Milroe, I can get behind. Jalen Milroe is the most talented, gifted quarterback in this class, period. Full stop. If you can eliminate his bad plays, that's a Pro Bowl player because he's got all the tools, right? I can even see a Jackson Dart. He ain't Josh Allen. I don't believe that, not one bit. But if you want to go get him, fine. You put him in a room with Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, I'll watch it. And then Cam Ward went number 1. But we don't talk about that. We don't even talk about Travis Hunter getting traded up to go get at number 2. We're talking about a guy that did not get drafted until day 3. And that is how loud it is around him. Even the people that claim not to like him, and it has been a remarkable couple of days to be a hater of Shedeur Sanders, are still talking about him. They show up. They want to see him play, or they want to see him fail. Whatever it is, they're packing it in to see it. You must honor that, if nothing else. The man is demanding your attention. RJ, Johnny Manziel demanded our attention. He got drafted in the 1st round, dog. That's the difference. Tim Tebow also got drafted in the 1st round. Paxton Lynch also got drafted in the 1st round. We get them everywhere. We get bust everywhere. We get wins everywhere. It's just when they pay you $30 million, you really are a bust. When they're paying you 6, 5th round, 4 years, not so much. But the money's not it. He's good, right? What it is now he's in, right? We didn't want to see him go undrafted. We did want to see him get selected. That's been done. Now what happens next? Next lesson to take from this is the NFL is said, we want you to do it our way. We don't have the NFL scouting combine for our health. We don't want to just go to your pro day. We want you to come to ours. When you go through the interview process, talking about you interview bad, when I asked that question, I said, so tell me why it was a bad interview. Because the kind of interview that he apparently gave was the one, like to the teams in private, was the one that he gave on the days, which is, I'm good. My results speak for themselves. I turned around Jackson State. I turned around Colorado. Why can't I turn around another NFL organization? That's his confidence. And if that rubs you the wrong way, if you want to see a football junkie, if you want to see a guy that was going to chew through film, maybe he could have done that for you, but he would also be acting out of his character, which, that might be something that you don't like. And it turns out the thing that football coaches hate the most is a guy that thinks he has it. It took Nick Saban saying it out loud. Look, give him an offensive line. Let him throw on time. He is one of the most accurate passers in this class, right? That was Baker Mayfield's calling card. He was accurate with the football. Could hit a shoebox down the field at 50 yards. When you're Shedeur Sanders and your father's Deion Sanders and you're coming from a spot like this one, I wonder how much real research went into him, right? And then we get Peter Schrager, who's dropping a dime. Hey, he doesn't have a traditional agent who's out there just talking to people. You got to go through Deion, which I think says a lot, right? Not a whole lot of people want to deal with Deion because he's not new. He really isn't. He's been through it. He understands it. And there's a reason why he was going out of his way to say, hey, there's certain places I don't want him to play. That might have worked against him as well. No, really, because you only know that he got drafted in the 5th round. I think I, myself, want to see him succeed, but that's just it. I want to see them all succeed. Like, I want Tyler Shuck to show me up. But I also understand Doug Nussmeier is the offensive coordinator at New Orleans, and his kid plays at LSU and is the most prolific quarterback returning the SEC, and he's draft eligible next year, which gets us back to this is a weak draft class, and it doesn't say a lot that you're getting drafted in the 5th round in a weak draft class for quarterbacks. Next year is supposed to be that much better, right? Carson Beck, John Mateer, my goodness, Malik Murphy, just going to be all tools. Arch Manning, if he decides to come out, and there's real conversations that he won't. All the way down the line it goes. We're going to have dudes that just are a little bit better than what we want to see. Cam Ward was the great example. A guy that might have been a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick last year because Caleb Williams and them gets to be the number 1 overall pick to the Tennessee Titans this year because he showed out at Miami and was great. I really want people to sit here and ask this question of themselves. Why do you believe that Shedeur Sanders is arrogant but not confident? Why is his get down, his steez getting under your skin? It's not getting under mine. I don't cow to any of these guys. Matter of fact, I've interviewed Shedeur Sanders. I've interviewed Deion Sanders. Nothing about them asked me to shrivel. I embrace it. And I think that's got a lot to do with my own self-esteem. And if we're having self-esteem conversations, well, that's a different podcast. But right now, with this show, I think you got to embrace the guy that Shedeur Sanders is, and you got to ride with that. And there are great quarterbacks and offensive coordinators that understand it. I'm going to get on his wavelength. He's going to get on mine. One of my favorite examples of this is Kenny Dillingham at Oregon, who would tell Bo Nix, I'm going to give you a play. Your job is to make me right. That's it, right? So if I give you a bad play, get me out of it. Get us out of it. Get us into something we can win with, because that's your job as the quarterback. And if you don't have the kind of arrogance to believe, confidence to believe, cockiness to believe you're the best out there slinging it, I don't know what to do. You got to be a little bit crazy to do this. Like I even talk about doing this job. To sit down in front of a microphone is the same as to write a book, like Requiem for the Massacre back there. You have to have brutal confidence in yourself, sometimes out of this world, to believe that you wrote something that other people should read, that you have something you can contribute into a microphone that other people should hear. That in and of itself means you have to operate a little differently. You have to move in the world as if you know. And then when you don't know, you got to get back to work. You don't get to take days off. If you are getting come after, come back, dog. Get up off. Let's go. That's what I'm here for. And I think we're going to get to see yet another version, another form of Shedeur Sanders. And I can't wait to see it when a dude gets his ultra instinct going on, because it's going to be so much fun to see. I am here for the moment that we get to see a Shedeur Sanders go, all right, let me show you who I am again. Let me show you how I can really get this going. Let me show you how I can really get down. The kind of confidence that Smoke had coming out of the general store to see these dudes trying to rob his truck, and he shot one in the behind, he shot one in the knee, and he looked around as if anybody got something they want to do? Anybody got something they want to say? Huh? No? Okay. And then he paid for the medical bills, because that's what you do. I want to see that kind of confidence. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for hot and cold. I'm here for cool and business. I'm here for hot and fun. I'm here for it all. Give me the experience. Put me in that space. Let's turn it into a Western. Let's go fight. Let's go win. God, this is going to be so much fun.